Hello, my name is Tom Palmer and I am a children's author. I write sports books generally, including the Rugby Academy series, which is about a school rugby union team that travels the world playing in rugby tournaments. I've also written a book called Scrum. I'm here to talk to you today because it is nearly the 2018 Six Nations tournament, and I want to talk to you about reading rugby, because I read a lot about rugby because I like rugby. So I'm also going to talk briefly about a couple of my books, and I'm going to give you my predictions for the how I think the Six Nations is going to finish from 1 to 6. Anyway, there are lots in the newspapers and online about the Six Nations. If you go online now and search Six Nations 2018, there's loads of newspapers with previews of the tournament, and there's also magazines like Rugby World and the Rugby Paper excuse me, who have some really good interviews with players and lots of facts and the fixtures as well, and it also tells you when the matches are on television. So there's lots you can read in newspapers and magazines. But also, I love reading rugby books. I like reading biographies, and there's loads of biographies of the great rugby players. I like reading, this is a bit more of a different biography. This is about rugby union players who fought in the First World War, so I've enjoyed reading that. And I've also enjoyed, even though I'm an England fan, this is a really good book about Welsh rugby called Calon by Owen Shears. So if you're a Welsh rugby fan, I recommend this book massively. There's also lots of children's books and children's fiction about rugby. There's the Rugby Zombies series here by Dan Anthony, which is really good. I think there's 3 or 4 of those. And Gerard Siggins' Rugby Spirit series, which I really enjoy as well. And also, I think one of my favourite rugby reads is Pride and Penalties. This is a really good book about a girl who plays rugby union, who has to persuade her dad that it's okay for girls to play rugby because he doesn't really take her seriously. So there's some of the books I like to read. There's loads to read out there about rugby union. If you wanted to try some of my books, this is a series about 3 boys. They play rugby union. They start with a rugby union tournament in the UK. Then they go on to play in Toulon in a European rugby tournament, and then they end up in New Zealand. Also, another feature of this book is that the children are all the sons of RAF personnel, so there's sort of a backstory where their parents are involved in a conflict, so it's sort of rugby and serving in the British forces. So they're some of the books that I write, some of the things that I recommend you read. Now I wanted to tell you who I think is going to come where in the Six Nations, for what I know anyway. I think bottom 6 will be Italy, 5th will be France, 4th will be Wales, possibly, 3rd Scotland, 2nd, and this is controversial, I think England will come 2nd, and I think Ireland will win the Six Nations, partly because I don't like to see England are going to win, because then there's more chance they will, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is my Read Rugby, these are my Read Rugby suggestions, and if you'd like to know more about my books and loads of free resources that you can get on my website, you can visit tompalmer.co.uk/rugby, and you can find out more about there's games, quizzes, activities and short videos you can watch. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Enjoy the Six Nations, and let's see how it all pans out. Cheers.